The office was colder than I expected, not just in temperature, but in feeling. The walls were bare, except for a single analog clock ticking just a little too loudly. I sat in a stiff chair across from a long, polished table, my hands resting awkwardly in my lap. The receptionist had led me here without a word, just a nod toward the chair before vanishing through a door marked Private. I checked the time on my phone, 10 minutes past my scheduled interview. Finally, the door creaked open. A tall man in a black suit stepped inside. His face was oddly nondescript, sharp but featureless, like I'd forget it the moment I looked away. He didn't smile. "Thank you for coming," he said, taking a seat across from me. His voice was dry, like paper rubbing together. He didn't introduce himself. I cleared my throat. "Of course. Thanks for having me." He slid a thin folder across the table. I opened it, expecting a job description or contract, but there was only a single sheet of paper with one question typed in the center. "How did you get here?" I frowned. I drove?" He tilted his head, his expression unreadable. I let out a nervous chuckle. "Did you mean something else? Like my background?" No response. The silence stretched, and I felt something shift in the room. The ticking of the clock grew louder. The air, somehow thicker. My breath felt too warm against the cold of the room. I swallowed hard. "Well, I studied it." The lights flickered. The man didn't move. I looked at him, really looked, and suddenly felt like I wasn't in control of my own body. His eyes, dark and deep, seemed to stretch into me, pulling something I couldn't see. I gripped the arms of my chair, my vision blurred at the edges. A strange, creeping feeling crawled up my spine, like I wasn't supposed to be here. I tried to stand. I think I should go." The door was gone. The walls had stretched, or maybe shrunk. The clock was still ticking, faster now. The man's lips barely moved when he spoke. "You already are." And then, nothing. Just the clock ticking. And a new interviewee sitting across the table staring at the single sheet of paper.